On 7's Gold Coast News, Rebel Wilson and Margot Robbie spotted as the city rolls out the red carpet for Hollywood's biggest names. Exclusive new details as an accused murderer fronts court for killing a Tweed woman. Several people saved from a fire in a Surfers Paradise tower. Heartbroken by hackers, a local Taylor Swift fan's warning to others. And Reece Walsh cleared to take off to Las Vegas.
Live from the Gold Coast, 7 News with Amanda Abate and Steve Titmus.
Good evening, everyone. The Gold Coast is rolling out the red carpet with Hollywood heavyweights in the city on the eve of what is known as Australia's Oscars. Amanda Abate is at the home of the arts where Barbie mania is taking over.
Yes, Stephen, there are rumours our very own Golden Girl, Margot Robbie, just may make a surprise appearance here tonight for an outdoor screening of the Barbie blockbuster. We did just spot Rebel Wilson arrive here at Hodder a short time ago. She is hosting the Actor Awards tomorrow. As for the Barbie star, no sign of her here just yet, but she did pay a visit to the Queensland Children's Hospital to meet some very special fans.
Meeting Margot, a moment for Charlie to treasure.
We were a bit starstruck. We both had tears in our eyes and we didn't know why.
The Gold Coast's own cinema superstar taking time out to share a smile with sick Queensland kids.
It's truly amazing just to see them smile and the rest of the day have something to talk about.
Robbie returning down under ahead of tomorrow night's Actor Awards at the Home of the Arts. The Barbie star is set to receive the Top Gong, the Trailblazer Award, taking to the red carpet alongside the likes of Kate Blanchett, Rebel Wilson and Harry Connick Jr.
The Gold Coast is not just a great place to make films, but it's a great place for the industry to come together.
A celebration of all things Aussie on the silver screen. Excitement's building at Bam Bam Bakehouse for Goldiewood's Night of Nights.
This pastry is limited release. It will only be available Saturday and Sunday this week.
A twice-baked croissant crafted just for Robbie, the Golden Girl is packed with Aussie flavours, mango, macadamia and sea salt meringue.
For the macadamia crumble, we're trying to represent the sandy beaches of the Gold Coast.
We understand that this will be presented to her in her green room and we're thrilled.
Also thrilled, the state's screen industry, bolstered by a fresh $3 million cash injection by the Queensland government.
That's about getting behind our local companies that make local content.
Not only the stars wants to film here, but also the crew and the people behind the camera, the stuntman. They want to work here.
Work and stay in our beachside city. Liam Bland, 7 Gold Coast News.
Yes, it's all happening here this weekend. We did just see Oscar Award winner Kate Blanchett just arrive at the theatre. She's speaking tonight about her latest flick, The New Boy. Then tomorrow afternoon, all the stars arrive. Harry Connick Jr., Ron Howard, among a very long list of celebrities who'll walk the red carpet. Steve, I'll let you know if we spot Margot here tonight, but we will definitely see her tomorrow.
Oh, it's a very exciting weekend. Amanda Abate there at Hodder. Let's turn our attention now to other news. And a friend of the woman murdered in Tweed Heads claims she had a chilling conversation with the alleged killer. The 25-year-old accused fronted court today with his hands wrapped in bandages.
Today, a memorial. Flowers placed at the home of Donna Barraquette. But yesterday, her house was a crime scene.
It's appalling. It really is gut-wrenching.
Police found the 61-year-old's body on Wednesday night after a welfare check. The man accused of her murder is 25-year-old tenant Connor Bullis.
He said he got kicked out of somewhere else, and Donna told him that he could come, stay there.
Donna's friend Pearl says she saw Bullis the morning of the alleged murder.
Said that he'd been helping Donna pack up, sort out her house and that, and they had a blue and stuff. That's why it wigged me out, when it all happened.
Police say he fled and went to a nearby chemist, where a pharmacist treated injuries to his hand. Family friends of Donna invited 7 News into her house today. They showed us a confronting scene where the alleged murder took place in the back room of her home.
A little lady that rode a push bike with a basket on the front. So it's really heart-wrenching to think that someone so gentle could have her life taken.
Bullis appeared in Tweed Heads court today, hands bandaged and cuffed. His family were there in support. He will remain behind bars, his matter adjourned until March 15. Sam Payne, 7 Gold Coast News.
Firefighters have saved several lives after a blaze in Surfers Paradise. Liam Bland, there were no smoke alarms.
Steve, not one in the entire 6-storey tower on Garfield Terrace. That's because the Seabreeze apartment complex is supposed to be empty as it's scheduled for demolition. But there were a number of people inside the building when a blaze broke out on the 3rd floor this morning. Smoke could be seen pouring out of the roof. Fire crews worked their way through the toxic fumes to put out the flames and rescue those inside.
There were people inside. They were evacuated. And then we searched the building to ensure there was no one else inside.
7 News has been told the people found inside had been illegally staying in the abandoned building. It's the second time in less than a month fire has sparked at the property.
Liam Bland there with the latest details. A driver has escaped serious injury after a nasty crash with a mini excavator. The man's vehicle was badly damaged when it was struck by the machinery. It had fallen off a trailer being towed by a truck. The rear of the car was crushed by the impact. The crash happened on an exit ramp of the M1 at Yatala just after 7:30 this morning. An alleged gunman's bid for bail has been refused. Wade Kavanagh is accused of robbing a man in Southport by threatening him with a gun and taking off with a Ford Ranger last year. The 26-year-old was later arrested, but the court was told when he was being chased by police, he allegedly ditched the firearm, which then discharged. His case returns to court later this month. Police are searching for the owners of lost jewellery and other belongings that were found beside a road in Ormeau. They include 2 jewellery boxes, several badges, a gift card and a small black and white photo of a girl. Anyone who recognises the items should contact Police Link. A man who stole a Toyota Hilux while on test drive at a Highland Park dealership will be released from prison. Let's go to Jordan Quinn. And Jordan, the 32-year-old has been handed his punishment.
He sure has, Steve. Shannon Ryder was sentenced to 18 months behind bars, but given he's already served 6 months, he was granted parole from today. In August last year, Ryder provided a forged licence to test a brand new Hilux at the Hinterland Toyota dealership. When the salesman showed him the car, Ryder shoved past him, stealing the ute, which was later found in Tugun with his fingerprints all over it. It wasn't his first run-in with the law. Today, Southport Court was told he has a 16-page criminal history.
Jordan Quinn reporting there from Surfers Paradise. Mayor Tom Tate says the Gold Coast could help cut the cost of the 2032 Olympic Games by billions. The city is now modifying its submission to host certain sports after plans to rebuild the Gabba were sensationally shut down.
8 years out from the Brisbane Olympics, an infrastructure debacle, plans to rebuild the Gabba shut down by Olympics bosses who suggested it be scrapped.
I think an increasingly difficult burden for the city and the state to justify.
The big hitters have come out, and but I wish they had come out a bit earlier so that we didn't lose time.
The city is now spending amending its submission to put to the Olympics board on what should be held here at stadiums and pools that already exist.
There would be a powerful argument for saying we could use the aquatic centre, we could use Carrara.
I'm afraid that's going to go down the path of Daniel Andrews in Victoria, where he worked it out that it cost so much money that he's had to pull the plug.
If Tom Tate's plan is approved,
all the things we say, we will save the Olympic Games 2032 $3 billion. You work it out. That's a lot of affordable housing could be done.
But if the budget does blow out,
my attitude is Gold Coast is a very solid plan B.
Any opportunity to showcase the wonderful Gold Coast is a great opportunity.
An opportunity which could come our way. Amelia Radham, 7 Gold Coast News.
Plans have been unveiled for a new super tower in Surfers Paradise. If approved, the 90-storey building would be the tallest in the Southern Hemisphere. Prolific developer Harry Triggerbuff has proposed the project on the site formerly occupied by the mini golf and Vomitron attractions. A second tower, 77 storeys tall, is also expected to be built on the same block. Coastal expert Paul Burt joins us now. And Bertie, well, the swell it's expected to build this weekend.
Absolutely there, Steve. In fact, we're expecting to get up to around 2.5 metres tomorrow afternoon. Much bigger than that offshore. We combine the wind on top of that. It should get up to around 4, maybe even 4.5. That won't break on the beach, though. And we're also experiencing some extremely large tides, the king tides, 1.9 metres. You can see that there today. The water started to creep up, and of course, we're going to see it probably inundating some of those low-lying areas coming up through the storm drains around Budds Beach, Labrador bigger waters tomorrow into Sunday as that 1.9 metre tide pushes through. MSQ, Marine Safety Queensland, warning boaties to be aware of extra strong tidal influences out there. Now, of course, to the charts, it shows that trough just pushing off the coast. Clearly with that, we're going to see some showers for the weekend. And of course, with that, you might want to keep the brolly handy through till Monday. And of course, team, at this stage here on the Broadwater, looking great. It is International Read in the Bath Day. I'm reading the weather in front of the Gold Coast's biggest bath, and that is the Gold Coast Broadwater. More weather for you soon.
Oh, you're spot on there, Bertie, right up to date. Coming up, exclusive, a local Swiftie fan left heartbroken by hackers. Her warning to others next. Plus, our bikini battle heats up. Why locals showed off skimpy swimwear in Broadbeach. And watch your step, the rare visitor discovered at a hinterland home. Skimpy swimmers were on show this morning at Broadbeach to fight for the right to wear G-strings off the sand. Women in bikinis and men in budgie smugglers were calling to free the peach. The action is in response to a push from charity founder Ian Grace for a ban on wearing G-string bikinis when not on the beach.
The fact that it's been sexualised and so much attention has been brought to it is really disheartening, because I think we're in a generation where we just want to be free.
We're not encouraging that our young girls are jumping onto public transport in there with their peaches out in their little G-string bikinis. That's not right and that's not appropriate. So the education needs to start at home.
The group says the bikini is part of the Gold Coast culture. A local snake catcher has had an unexpected encounter in the hinterland. Tim Hudson was called to a property at Beachmont this morning after a resident reported an unwanted visitor.
Found him. I got him. Woo! Tiger!
Tiger snakes are one of the most venomous in Australia. They're also not common on the Gold Coast, rarely encountered, and only in isolated rainforest areas deep in the hinterland where they feed on frogs. Pretty scary. A Mudgeeraba schoolgirl's dream of seeing Taylor Swift live has been crushed by cruel scammers. The family's trip to Melbourne is all booked, but now they're left ticketless after their Ticketek account was hacked.
Meet Indy Hennessy, Taylor Swift's mega fan from Mudgeeraba. The pop star is plastered across the 9-year-old's bedroom.
This is midnight.
So when Auntie Rachel surprised her with tickets to the superstar's Melbourne show,
I was really excited.
Mum Beck forked out thousands on flights and a hotel, but last night their account was hacked. Scammers had changed the details, the tickets gone.
Logged in and my tickets had been listed for sale, and within 4 minutes there was another email that said your tickets have been sold.
The credit card details changed too. Rachel claims she still hasn't been able to contact Ticketek.
Now we're just left in the dark because you can't get a response from Ticketek. How am I meant to tell her that she's not going to Taylor Swift?
Ticketek told 7 News it's been dealing with thousands of queries that relate to fraudulent or other scams. These are indicative of the length unscrupulous fraudsters will go.
If we could go into our savings and buy these tickets again, we would, but it's impossible to get these tickets.
Little relief for a little super fan.
I just feel really heartbroken.
Jordan Quinn, 7 Gold Coast News.
Tickets for a new music festival near Coolangatta Beach have sold out in just minutes. Out to Lunch will be headlined by Gold Coast DJ sensation Fisher on May the 4th. He'll be joined by fellow Aussie artists Flight Facilities, Little Fritter and Shimmy, as well as Brazilian DJ Vintage Culture. The event was approved by Council late last year, despite concerns over its location. Time for the day's sport now with Sally Pearson. And Sally, There's some good NRL news.
Oh yes, the all clear has been given for takeoff, Steve, to Vegas. Hello everyone. Reece Walsh has received the news he will be heading to the US. And how Gold Coast Olympians could bring home a piece of the Eiffel Tower.
No boss, no contact. The new proposal allowing workers to switch off after hours. What it means for you. Travel overseas cheaper. Major airlines returning. How you can save hundreds on your holiday. And the community living longer than others. What's their secret? On Weekend Sunrise.
Narang product Reece Walsh has had his visa approved to play in Las Vegas. The 21-year-old's off-field drug scandal in Surfers Paradise 3 years ago meant he had to front the American consulate in Sydney to be cleared to play in the US. Brandon Smith and Latrell Mitchell also faced a hearing and both have been allowed to travel. The first round of the NRL in Las Vegas will be played next month. Michael Neser has been recalled to Australia's cricket squad for their Red Bull tour of New Zealand. The fast bowler who debuted with the Gold Coast Dolphins will replace Lance Morris, who was ruled out with an injury.
Ness has been ultra consistent with the skill set there that we really like in certain conditions, and hopefully New Zealand provides those conditions.
The first test begins in Wellington on February 29. Pieces of the Eiffel Tower could soon be headed to the Gold Coast. Fragments of steel from the iconic French structure have been embedded in medals to be handed out at the Olympic Games in Paris this year. At the 2020 Olympics in Tokyo, Queenslanders won 28 medals. Half were won by athletes from the Gold Coast, including Emma McKeon, who won 7. And Steve, I'm sure your family will be bringing back a big bag of medals yourself.
Oh, gee, fingers crossed. They are fantastic, those medals, aren't they?
Oh, they look really good.
Yeah, really special.
Yeah.
Cheers. Have a good weekend.
You too.
Coming up, the jaw-dropping costs of tap and go fees. How much you're being stung. That story soon on 7 News.
And it looks as though we'll still see a few showers across the Gold Coast for the weekend, but what's in store for next week? All those details after the break.
Sharon Godella is here now with a look at the top stories coming up in the news at 6.
Steve, just ahead, major developments in the Kefu home invasion case as 2 teens plead guilty. Also, the moment police take down thieves accused of stealing an MP's car. Barnaby's bizarre night, his explanation for this embarrassing video. What happened when officers commandeered an e-scooter to chase a suspect. Queensland Taylor Swift fans caught up in a Ticketek scam. And a South East brewery's fight to let dogs indoors with diners. All the details coming up next.
Thanks for that, Sharon. Let's go to Bertie at Main Beach. And Bertie, all important, what is the outlook for the weekend?
Look, you really want to keep a brolly handy there, Steve, or a raincoat. A couple of showers. I think tomorrow morning you'll wake up, should be okay, but by mid-morning, a few showers and rolling in through the early parts of the afternoon as well. Could be seeing between that sort of 2 and 7 millimetres, so yeah, there'll be a couple about it for sure. We woke this morning, have a look at that for the top of Q1 looking north. We saw a few showers across the Gold Coast this morning. It did break around lunchtime today. Obviously this afternoon patches of sun appearing at times. We'll take a look up at Holywell at the moment. Good evening to Mum and Dad up there. Temperature wise holding steady, 25 degrees, south-southeasterly winds at 15 k's. It has dropped off a touch. Today highs of 25 to 26 degrees, 27 the warmest around the seaway, down to 21 the average all around the coast overnight. You might have had a leaky air conditioner as well due to the high humidity. Good tip, keep it off 18 degrees, put it back up to 24 and put it on the humidity side, not cool. Might stop the leaks. As we take a look now around the country there for the SAT, we're going to see that low sitting deep in the northern Coral Sea, of course, with that. It's not really going to do too much for us. We do have that southeast trade pushing through at the moment as well. That's going to bring some pretty strong southeast trades all the way up the coast at this stage here. Temperature-wise, as we take a look with those showers coming across the coast tomorrow, highs of around 28 degrees, down to 23 overnight, 22 to 28 for Burleigh and Robina, and Narang, 21-29 for Yatala and Tamborine. 23-28 for Surfers Paradise on the water, southeast winds 25 knots, pretty bumpy out there. And for the surfers, hit the points, 9-second intervals, and it's coming from the southeast. More on that soon. And showers set all the way through to Monday, tops at 28 degrees. So let's check the waterways for tomorrow, everybody. On the surfing scene, if you're keen to get out there, looks as though we're going to be seeing that stiff southeast trade, pushing in a nice swell, rolling in 9-second intervals. Point's the best bet. Forget those northern exposed beaches of the Gold Coast. So Burleigh, down around Snapper into Greenie, Rainbow through to Kirra. Also down around Cabrita if you're keen for a bit of a hit further south in northern New South Wales. Water temp, by the way, 26 degrees. Now, fishing-wise, that knocks off the offshore fishing. But once it settles next Wednesday, I'll be gearing up for that. It'll be the next day you can get out. Mulloway Central. Have a look at these beautiful catches taken on board Seapro charters, Cottons and Sullys. But back inshore, hey, regardless of the weather, the whiting are biting, and get up there and hit the tings around Labrador channels using yabbies. And Steve, a lot of that shower activity at the moment, just holding offshore. A little bit of sunshine to the west, but again for the weekend, it's going to be very patchy. So enjoy the most of it, but those sea conditions quite rough. Please be aware, swimmers stay between the flags.
Yeah, it still will be a great weekend on the Gold Coast. Thanks for that, Bertie, and thank you for your company this week. We'll see you again on Monday at 5:30. Enjoy your weekend. The news at 6 is next.